The latest BMW M3 marks probably the biggest step change in the history of this iconic performance car. Firstly, this two-door is no longer an M3 Coupe, it's now an M4, and secondly, the naturally aspirated engine has been ditched for the very first time and replaced by a 3-litre turbocharged straight six. It's a formula that you really don't want to mess with, but BMW is promising us that we're not going to be disappointed.
The engine itself may be smaller than the old V8, but it's also more powerful. It's got 425 brake horsepower, which is 9 brake horsepower extra, and torque is also up by a mammoth 41%. Combine that with a weight saving of 80 kilos over the old M3 Coupe, and you get some seriously impressive performance figures.
So all of that means that the M4, fitted with a 7-speed DCT like ours, can go from 0 to 62 miles an hour in 4.1 seconds. And if you're worried about turbo lag, there's absolutely no reason to worry about turbo lag. This engine feels really powerful from as low as 1500, 2000 RPM, and there's a really linear acceleration all the way up until 7600. And once you get there, you just keep your foot pinned to the floor, flick the right hand paddle, and the gear change thumps home instantly. It's pretty aggressive. But while the performance is really good, the noise that this engine makes sometimes sounds a little bit too synthesized. It's quite difficult to make a turbocharged engine sound nice. And BMW, they've almost got it right, but they've got a system where it plays engine sound through the speakers, and it hasn't ever really been that obvious before, but in this car you can tell. I'll just put it in second and then floor it. So it does sound nice, but it just, you can tell that there's a synthesized sound there, and it kind of detracts from the experience a little bit.
Of course, there are benefits to the new smaller engine, particularly when it comes to running costs. With the dual clutch gearbox, fuel economy stands at 34 mpg, which is 25% better than the car it replaces. 194 grams per kilometre of CO2 is surprisingly low for a performance car too.
So the engine's good then, but what about the chassis? Well, that's another masterstroke by BMW really, because you do have all these buttons down here just next to the gear stick which allow you to tweak the settings of the steering, the suspension and the powertrain. Or alternatively, we've got a button on the steering wheel, M1, which is pre-programmed to just put everything to comfort and efficient for the powertrain. And when you do that, it just feels like a really nice 4 Series really. It's really comfortable and it's really easy to drive. But mess about with those buttons down there, or press M2, which here puts the powertrain in Sport Plus, the suspension in Sport, steering in Sport Plus. And once you do that, it feels like a real M-car. In the corners, it just refuses to understeer. Body stays absolutely flat. And if you just brush the throttle mid-corner, you can feel the back start to step out, but it's kind of really communicative, it's really easy to manage, and just a little bit mental. It's exactly what you want from an M-car. There's always a little bit of trepidation with a new M3, or M4 as this one's called. It's just that niggling feeling that they may have not got things quite right. And this turbocharged model could have been the one that really messed things up, but turns out there was absolutely no reason to worry. BMW has produced yet another amazing car. And it's not just how capable this thing is as a performance model, it's how impressive it is during everyday use. It's as capable on a racetrack as it is on a 100-mile slog from London to Birmingham. It would set you back about £55,000, which certainly isn't cheap, but this feels like all the car you could really ever need. A worthy addition to the history of BMW M? Absolutely.
Click on the video windows to watch our track battle between the M235i and E46 M3 CSL, and our review of the BMW i8. Click on the red play icon to watch our very latest video, an Auto Express logo to subscribe to our channel.